All right. We talked about things that are polynomials and things that are not polynomials. So let's take a look at A, B, and C. I will tell you that only one of them is a polynomial. Either A, B, or C. One of them is, the other two are not. Which one do we think is the polynomial?
Bryson says A.
Yeah. Do we have any other votes?
B.
You vote for B?
I'm gonna just say C.
You're just gonna say C. Okay, well, I'm gonna go with Bryson on this one. It is gonna be A. So this one is a polynomial. So this one is a yes. I think they did like the 10-minute, yeah. Yeah, and so
Did
these.
you hear the announcements today, Miss Lieutenant? They did the pledge of allegiance and said, "Have a good day, Vikings."
That's because now
Yeah.
we're supposed to, now we have announcements during fourth hour through the
That's
TV.
not the right one.
No, I'm not gonna be here for that.
Oh, wait.
Okay, phone
So you have
away.
to-
Yep, pencil out.
Oh, so we do know the announcements.
You have to remind.
Yeah,
your
we've
teacher,
got a fourth hour teacher.
Depending on your lunch, depends on when they'll, show up.
So, we have two things that make it a no for polynomials. So these are a no-go, so we can kind of draw one of the little circles with a line through it. So these are our no-go things. If you have x underneath the root, no-go. That's not a polynomial. If you have x in the denominator, it's a no-go. So those are the things we look out for. Those are our no's. And again, this would be a good note to write yourself so that you can use this sheet on the quiz tomorrow, right? And help you spot which ones are and which ones aren't. Now, this one still has a fraction, but do you see how the 1/4 is in front of the x? So it's 1/4 x. The x is not in the denominator, so that is why that one is okay. All right, do we feel good about number one? Okay. The next one, we're looking for the degree. We're not going to do part C because I don't have, I wonder if I do have one like part C now that I say that. I bet I do if it's on this sheet. Okay, just kidding. We are going to do part C. Look at part A and B. You're looking for the biggest exponent for each. That's going to be our degree. So 6. What is the biggest exponent here? 5. So for problems like this, when there is one variable, and again, this could be a good note to write yourself. When there is one variable, look for the biggest degree or biggest exponent. What word do we like better, degree or exponent? Exponent. Hold on. Look for the biggest. I'll put exponent / degree. On this one, Demias, or the other one too?
Just like where did, I don't know what we got.
Okay. Hold on. So for number 2, when it's asking for the degree, you scan through and look for your biggest exponent. So the
Okay.
biggest exponent is 6, so our degree is 6.
Okay.
Scan through, look for your biggest exponent, it's 5. The degree is 5.
Okay, alright.
So for those, that's all you're looking for.
Why didn't we C?
We're going to do C now.
Oh, okay, alright.
So when you have multiple variables, to find the degree, you have to add the exponents together. So here, my degree is going to be 3 plus 7, which is 10. So when you have multiple variables, let's say more than one variable, add the exponents together. Or add the powers, whatever word you like better. So again, when you have more than one variable, we add the powers or add the exponents. All right, the rest of them are simplifying. So we need to simplify, we need to go through and multiply, and there are a couple in the back. That's what I wanted to check for.
How about the number?
Yeah.
How about for number 2, A? Why do we not add them to that one?
Because there's only one variable. The only time we add them is when we have multiple variables. So we had an x and a y in part C, so that's why we added them. Yep. All right, let's move on to number 3. 3 is just adding and subtracting like terms. Same for part B. Here we go. I have an 8x. Are there any other just plain x's?
4x.
4x, yep. Okay, so let's group those two. I've got a 3x squared. That looks like the exact same color. I regret my color choices, but I'll underline it twice. Yep, I agree with the 12x squared. And then we have this plus 20. Is there anything that goes along with the plus 20?
Nope.
Nope. All right, so let's start with the x squared because we always like to go with the biggest exponent first. So if I have 3x squared plus 12 more, how many do I have total?
But I believe it is 14, 15.
15, yes, 15x squared. So 3 plus 12 is going to take me to 15x squared total. Let's go to the x's next. 8x and 4 more x. How many x's do I have? 12, yeah. And then the 20 doesn't have any buddies, so it's just going to stay 20. And that's going to be our final answer. So for this one, we just have to add and subtract like terms. So the thing that's going to clue us into the fact that we need to multiply is when we have parentheses. Okay? All right, let's look at the next one. Ooh, we've got all sorts of letters. I've got 8a. Do I have another a? Yeah, the minus 3a. I'm going to pick a very contrasting color this time so they don't all look the same. Do I have any more c's?
Yes.
And then I have a 5d, but do I have any other terms that have d? No. So we're working on this right now, the review. Okay, so let's go through and combine the things we can combine. 8a, take away 3 a's. How many a's do I have left? 5a. So usually when I have lots of different letters, I go in alphabetical order. So I started with my a's. Do we have any b's?
9.
I don't see any b's, so let's move to c's. I have 3 c's plus 7 more c's. How many c's total?
You got 10 C's.
10 c's. And then go to d. Do I have any more d's to go with the 5d? No. So we're going to just say plus 5d at the end. And then Leo, I'll give you my sheet when I'm done here. Okay, we've got another one with adding like terms. Why don't you do part C on your own? Because we just did 2 together. So you try this one on your own. I'm going to pull off the screen so you can't see. You try part C. Add your like terms. We're going to meet back up and talk about it. All right, you ready?
Yeah,
How'd we do? Good?
mine's backwards.
Oh, do you have 10 plus 2x plus 5x squared?
No, I got 2x plus 5x squared plus
That's fine, and I'm fine with that, because you still have all the right values, it's just not in standard form.
So we don't have to put it
The
in.
math, yes.
I would prefer, yes, I would prefer that you put it in standard form. However, I'm not going to mark it wrong for that, okay? But just know in general, like if you were in another math class down the road, Like, that's how people are gonna write their answers. The thing that's squared will be first, and then the first power, and then the number. Okay? So this is a distribute problem because I have something sitting out front. So let's multiply it in.
Is there like an imaginary one right there?
Yeah, there's like an imaginary one right here in front. Although I get nervous using the word imaginary because now we've talked about imaginary numbers. So there is a 1. It's very real. It's right there. 2 times 1. So multiply your big numbers. What do you get? 2. If I have x to the first and another x to the first, I have x
To the second.
to the second. Plus, I'm going to do 2x times 15. So what's 2 times 15? 30. And then the x just kind of comes along for the ride because there's not another x to combine it with. Can I add these two terms together?
No.
No, why not?
They're not like terms.
Yeah, they're not like terms. What makes them not like terms?
These.
Yeah, the x squared, and this one, does it have an x squared?
9.
No. So that's why they can't be added together. Good. Okay, let's flip to the back. There are 2 more hiding there. I checked earlier because I was like, I bet there are some binomials on here, and sure enough, here's where they're hiding. All right, I'm going to start with the x. These are like the ones we did yesterday. X times x is what?
1 x.
2.
2 x. No, 1
No,
x.
2 x. Or x to the second power.
Yes, there we go. X times x, x squared. And maybe you write yourself a note on the top of your paper that reminds you of that, right? So how would you get to 2x? That would be a situation where you have x plus x. That would get you to 2x. Okay, so that could be a little reminder note that you put at the top of your paper. That make sense? Okay. So that could be good to even have up there just to reference, so that way as you're doing the problems, like, oh yeah, x times x, x squared. Okay, x times negative 3.
Negative 3 x.
Negative 3x. Again, we just kind of smush them together. They don't really combine. They just kind of go right next to each other. Let's go with the 10. 10 times x is
10
10
x.
x.
30.
And 10 times negative 3.
Negative.
Negative 30. All right, here we go. I have an x squared. Do I have any other x squareds?
No.
No. I have a negative 3x. Do I have any other x's?
Yes, the 10 x.
Yeah, the 10x. They're right next to each other. I have a minus 30. Do I have any other plain old numbers?
No, 9.
No. All right, so I've got x squared. This is negative 3 plus 10, or you can think of it as 10 minus 3. So if I have 10 x's and somebody takes 3 away, how many do I have?
No, 7.
7 x's. And then I have my minus 30 at the end.
I can imagine having 7.
And that would be my final answer for that one. There's nothing I can combine because none of them are like terms from there on out. Okay, let's go to the next. All right, 2x times 4x. So let's multiply the big numbers first. 2 times 4,
8x.
8x.
To the second power.
And then squared because there are 2 of the x's. 2x times 5, 10x. Okay, so that took care of my first parenthesis. Oops, keep pouring on myself.
Plus.
And then everything gets multiplied by 1. 1 times 4x,
4 x.
and then 1 times 5, 5. Okay, do I have any like terms that I can add together?
The 10x and the 4.
Yeah, and usually they end up in the middle like that, so it's kind of nice that they end up side by side. So 8x squared doesn't have a buddy, there's nothing I can add to it. If I add the 10 and the 4, what do I end up with?
14.
14x, and then the 5 doesn't have a buddy. So this is going to be my final answer with everything combined. All right, so make sure you add what you want to add because this will be on our quiz.